I saw a hypersonic missile hit the ground. I've seen drones get shot out the sky by the missile defense system. A few of them which sounded like they were literally above my head. I knew that there was a war happening, but beyond that, yeah, really, I didn't know much. My name is Andy Durnford. I'm 32 years old. I'm from the south coast of England, and I've been flying wind tunnel for about 5-6 years now. So I was employed by AERODIUM to start up a new tunnel, and was in charge of training a group of 9 brand new instructors for the tunnel. And then beyond that, once they were trained, open the tunnel, and then take care of safety and oversee the first few months of the opening. I knew that there was a war happening, but beyond that, yeah, really, I didn't know much. My introduction to it was probably driving in on the bus and seeing in a very real way all these foxholes and buildings destroyed and stuff like that. That was, yeah, I didn't really watch any news, so that was my introduction to it. It was like, hey, here it is. And as a foreigner going there as well to do this, I've had a lot of comments of people saying, you know, thank you, you give us hope that things can get back to normal. Just my presence being there, my willingness to be there and do what I'm doing. Yeah, the drone attacks, the missile attacks. Yeah, they send a missile, like Russia will send missiles and drones. And I saw a hypersonic missile hit the ground. I've seen drones get shot out the sky by the missile defense system. A few of them which sounded like they were literally above my head. Massive explosions, and most of the time it's at night, so it wakes you up like 3 a.m. or something. You just hear this boom, and for the next hour or something you hear multiple booms. That took a little while to get used to. Or you still don't, you don't get fully used to it, I guess, but you sort of do. After a while it's like, okay, I'm going back to bed. Kind of hard to go back to bed, but you do try and go back to bed. Yeah, everyone's doing what they were always doing. They're trying to keep going on, which, yeah, I think that's pretty awesome. Like, there's obviously they have a real sense of what's going on, and they really feel it in their hearts of like the people in the outer regions which are completely struck by war, and they do a lot for them. But yeah, they try and just keep. I was surprised to see that, like, in a country that is currently at war, everyone's still, I mean, there people are flying. People are learning to fly. People are walking around the mall, shopping, and smiling and kind of enjoying it. Yeah, that was fun. So this is my first role, the first time in this kind of head trainer role. So I trained people in the past, but this is my first introduction to it. It was quite overwhelming at first because we had to train like 9 people in 3 weeks. It was a short space of time to train people. I was still getting used to air raids, sirens going off, and kind of, I just arrived into the country as well, so I was settling into a new country in this extreme situation, in a role, taking on a role that I'd never been doing before. But it all worked out somehow. It was really fun. Like the team were really nice about it. So the team, they have a real tight-knit kind of, good sense, strong sense of team, and they were really willing to learn. Like, any feedback I gave them and stuff, there was very little resistance. It was like, okay, cool, help me progress. So this helped me teach them, and it meant we could get them to a nice level quite quickly as well. They're pretty bold. Yeah, it is quite cool to see. They're quite courageous with it. They, you know, if you say, oh, you know, be careful of this, like, yeah, I mean, part of that, I guess, is like being new to the tunnel and perhaps not realizing, but a lot of it's just, yeah, they have this bold courage, and I've seen them learn quite quickly from that, which is quite cool. So they've been not able to skydive at all for the past 2-3 years because of the restricted airspace, right? They can't get up into the sky. So this sport that they love, and like, yeah, we know how passionate skydivers are about their sport, that's just been taken away from them. And the males can't leave the country. So it's not like you can go anywhere else either. So they just haven't had the opportunity. There was a couple of other tunnels in the area. They're slightly smaller and there's slightly less that you can do with them, but they do exist. So they've had that a little bit. But yeah, now this tunnel's opened up, there's even more opportunity, and they're loving it. A lot of them came up to me and was like, yes, like finally we can get in the air again and train properly and get back to it. Oh dude, it's good, it's great fun. It took me a while to get used to, so I came from a 14-foot, this is a 12-foot, so it took me a little while to adjust to the size. And it's a diffusion tunnel as well. I came from a non-diffusing tunnel, like just a complete vertical column of air. A diffusion tunnel, it opens out at the top a lot, so you get a massive power decrease as you go up, which is great for technique. Like it really forces you to keep nice body tension at the top because you're basically flying low speed, which requires some nice technique, as opposed to just a straight column of air, which you know, even 3/4 of the way up, there's still so much power, and you can just kind of hang off the wind. It's great fun in itself to play with a non-diffusing tunnel because you have a huge column of air to deal with. But yeah, it took me a while to adjust to that. And the tunnel itself is cool. Like, so there's some cool, like the net, for instance, the doorway is different. There's a few little bits of technology that I really like. Mostly those are from safety perspective. So the net and both the doorway, like the doorway moves nicely, like it's flexible. The net is really flexible and stuff, so that's really safe. So from an instruction point of view, that's nice because I can keep my customers a bit more safe. And if I hit the net myself, I get a bit more of a soft bounce. Oh yeah, dude, I remember that a lot. Yeah, that was awesome. I've never been part of something like that before. That was fascinating. I think it was one of the biggest events they'd had in a long time as well in Ukraine. So spirits were really high. There was like bands playing. The whole process was like, it went from midday all the way through to the night. We flew with a bunch of influencers and VIP people as well, and that was actually my first time teaching first timers in a while. Like in like 6 months, I'd been out of teaching first timers for a while. So that was nice. I got this. I remembered what it was like to see people have that enjoyment of like the first time on the wind again, which is that's always special. We got to do some shows. And I love performing, so this was right out my alley. I got to fly with some people that I'd never flown before. So we had like Savio from Brazil, Dominic from Poland. So yeah, some people coming in from foreign countries to fly with. Yeah, that was good. And doing some things like high speed work, like maxing out the tunnel speed. And so yeah, that gives some adrenaline and stuff. Yeah, well, that was good. It's a gorgeous tunnel, man. It's a gorgeous space. So there's like the garden with loads of plants and stuff and trees just outside it. There's the theme park, which is like a roller coaster in the mall and like a drop tower, and you have all the restaurants around it, and like basically like a viewing gallery around the whole thing where you can see the tunnel, and you can see all that when you fly. It is a beautiful tunnel, that's for sure. When I rocked up, I was like, okay, cool, this is nice. I didn't spend any time in malls since I was like 14, and now all of a sudden I'm in the mall every day. Like, oh yeah, this is great. I can just keep spending my time here. Yeah, do it. Come to Kiev. Come fly with me. It's a long journey. You might get caught up at the border a little bit, but it's worth it. Yeah, the tunnel's there. We're flying. Come visit us.